Celebrate spring with us. I'm Barbara Proschel, and along with my fellow co-chair Leslie Pinsky, we'd like to welcome you to Flowers After Hours, a very special part of Art in Bloom. First, I'd like to acknowledge our honorary chair for Art in Bloom 2018, Nikki Lewis, as well as our lead sponsor, Bachman's, who is also our sponsor for this evening. So thank you to both. Bachman's floral artists have created an evening of fleur couture. Mia's very own art has inspired these amazing and enchanting tableaux vivants, or living pictures. There's going to be some stunning surprises to come. So now I'd like to welcome our MCs for the evening, Karen Bachman-Toole, and from WCCO, the incomparable Jason DeRusha.
All right, the late show, there's always expectation on the 7 o'clock crowd. You guys are the rowdier crowd.
Ooh, I like it.
All right.
Let's practice a little bit. Can we get an ooh la la? It's very good.
Very nice, very nice. All right, now I was a little jealous last year. Last year was the first time I did this and loved it. But Karen has this beautiful crown on.
That's right. And I don't wear this every day.
Although, when your last name is Bachman, you could. If you want to, you could. I mean, I could too, but I've seen what you charge, so it's very reasonable. But for me, she charges more. That's fine.
This is a
it's very reasonable, very affordable. All the price ranges you need. But look what they made me this year—a little pocket square. Isn't that fun? Can you help me out there?
You're
all right.
wonderful.
I like it. I love it. Isn't that cool? I think it's really fun. Yes. Who did this? You know who did it? Jen.
Yeah.
Jennifer's the best. I kid. She's designed a floral wall for my house, so she's fantastic. It's so great to be here. I just love this event. It's so fun. My wife and I just walked around the museum, and I mean, wow, right? Like, some of the creativity is absolutely mind-blowing. The artists who are, they're modern day artists creating their designs right alongside the masters of art from centuries ago. It's pretty cool.
It is.
I just showed you something that a first grader did.
That's right. Up in the modern.
Up in the modern area.
That's right.
She did a take on kind of a mid-century modern chair. And that's what this is about, right? It's being inspired by the art. It's being inspired by the season and inspired by the beautiful flowers. And I'm so excited to be here with Karen. Karen is the marketing director for Bachman's, 5th generation.
That's right.
So many members of your family here and back there.
That's right. And so Bachman's has been in the Twin Cities for a long time, but the Minneapolis Institute of Art has been in the Twin Cities for over 100 years, and we're just so grateful to be able to celebrate the natural connection between art and flowers on this very special weekend.
Do you think, it's crazy crowded in here? It feels way busier than last year. Do you think it's because we're so desperate for any kind of spring? Yes. The flowers feel so good. It's like, oh my God. There's still one snow pile in my yard. Enough.
So, in keeping with Art in Bloom's French theme, this show has fittingly been named Fleur Couture. And inspired by the beauty that surrounds us in this very museum, Bachman's has designed floral attire for the subjects of art that are featured in our favorite works of art here in the museum. The ensembles that you'll see tonight were created to perfectly marry the vision of the artists as well as the vision of our designers to interpret the art in a modern breath of fresh air.
You guys are going to be blown away by this stuff. It is phenomenal. The pieces of art that we're highlighting in the show tonight are all more than a century old. And
Some of them too.
None of our models are more than a century old. None of them.
None of the flowers.
None of the flowers, no. What's cool about this is that the Bachman's designers, this is something, and you could talk more about this.
Yeah.
They get so excited about being able to just have unbridled creativity, right?
That's right. So we get to celebrate some of life's most beautiful moments, births of babies, anniversaries, weddings. But this is an event where we get to unleash creativity, and our designers are so excited. So we have some behind-the-scenes footage of really what happens in 72 hours. Because fresh florals have a lifespan that's a little bit different than anything else, we plan for months and then execute within 3 days. And so you can see here, we have meticulous detail to the costumes, to the display out at the 24th Street entrance. You might have seen the beautiful floral wall.
Oh, that wall's incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
So we've used over 10,000 stems of florals to create all of these incredible pieces of art, and our designers have been working literally around the clock to do so.
And it was hard to kind of string up those butterflies for that piece.
No, they're not real.
Oh, they're not real.
We're pollinator-friendly show,
Very
thank
good.
you.
It's fine. It's fine. It is really exciting, these designers get called upon to do, as Karen said, the most exciting moments of life, but sometimes, say you're doing design for a wedding, like maybe you have like an overly aggressive bride who maybe has a lot of restrictions and rules, or an aggressive father of the bride who has a very
Aggressive budget.
Neither of those things are factors tonight. So the artists get to design what they want and use the flowers that we're also excited to see.
That's right.
All right, I feel like we should do it, right? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, these are all live flowers. It is a little warm up here. And so the clock's ticking. I mean, like some of these, there is one costume for sure you don't want to see a wilt situation.
No.
Nobody wants that.
So, and with the first piece, it's actually my personal favorite here in the museum.
You love this piece of art.
It is.
And you can see why,
Does
right?
anyone know what it is? Springtime to Life. Yes.
Springtime of Life, 1871, Jean-Baptiste Camille Corot.
Correct. Oui.
Did I do okay? Is that right?
No.
I know. My wife actually spent 6 months living in France, and she always laughs that I tend to make French sound like Spanish, because that's what I know. But you just try to say it with a little French, like a ho-ho-ho, but you're still wrong. So this painting has great history. Like so many of the pieces of art here in the museum, I'm fascinated about the art, the artist, and the creation, but also on the path of how this piece of art got here. So this painting belonged to James J. Hill, James J. Hill had a couple of dollars. Like he had, being in the railroad business.
That's right.
Was a pretty good business.
It was, and it was actually very important to Bachman's because we got a railroad spur to ship our vegetables east.
For you guys to start up. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So J.J. Hill days in Wayzata and the James J. Hill Library in St. Paul, and so real guy had this piece of art and it ended up here.
That's right.
And we're fascinated. Whenever you see a person depicted in a piece of art, don't you want to know, like, what is the story? So was this woman, like, what's she thinking when he painted her? What, is she looks a little lonely, she looks a little somber, but yet there's a light, there's a light to her.
Let's find out. So tonight we have Laura, who is Bachman's buyer. She's portraying our wildflower woman, and she has a much more cheerful expression on her face.
Can you give us, Laura, somber? Can you match the...
More
Yes. That's the look you have when there's like bad weather in Florida and you can't get the flowers you want. Yes.
So Laura has a skirt that is adorned in roses and petite roses as well as shoes. Her bodice is completely covered in rose petals, as well as a crown made of wax flowers and rose petals. So not only is she beautiful, but she's incredibly fragrant.
Very fragrant. I feel when you mentioned Laura's bodice, she had a look on her face like I really don't know if I want Karen talking about my bodice.
So I've challenged the entire Bachman's team to dress like this tomorrow at work.
Now, I asked you before if this was heavy, and you said not really.
Well,
the skirt is heavy, yeah. How's this feel? Like, are you, you're surrounded by the smell of flowers all the time. When it's on your body for 2.5 hours,
it's a little bit different.
it's a little different. It's still good, right? It's still good, yeah. You look beautiful. What a great design.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Laura. Okay, our next painting is one that I think it's an artist that you'll all be familiar with. Do you guys know who this is? Okay. Well, I couldn't hear you. Yeah, I have a bad ear, so. Let that sit. So, just stupid. It is a dad joke, yes. And sadly, that has become my line of comedy these days. 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, like dad jokes is pretty much all I have. So Vincent van Gogh, and I told my kids about that. We were at the Art Institute in Chicago, and we saw a Van Gogh selfie, is what I told them it was. And you think, like, we've had all these articles written, all these psychologists looking at how narcissistic we are today. Because, I mean, did anyone take a selfie by the flower wall out there? Just me? It was only me?
Raise your hands.
All right, some of you did. Right? Like, Van Gogh was the original selfie artist. Like, he's been, someone in our last group said they thought he did 18 self-portraits. Yeah. So this one, he put his ego on check for one moment and painted something without him in it.
Focused on the landscape. And
Isn't it beautiful? Olive trees is the name of the painting.
This brings us Rick. And Rick is dressed as one of Van Gogh's olive trees. Rick is wearing a selection of olive branches, go figure, along with lichen, melon on his pants, eucalyptus, lupicundrin, and mossy accents. Now, don't look directly at his hat, because that is yellow to mimic the sun.
Oh, just like the bees. Yeah. Very nice. That's good. These are nice. We'll get the oils off of this and have some lovely olive oil later. How does this feel?
Fine.
Do you have anything on underneath all of it?
Usually.
7 o'clock show's different. You don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
So Rick is our creative director at Bachman's, and we thank him for portraying the trees so wonderfully.
Very nice, Rick. Thank you. All right, our next painting takes us to a place I think all of us have wanted to go over the last month for sure. This is Tahiti. Does anyone know the artist of this one? Gauguin, yes, very nice. Paul Gauguin's Tahitian landscape. So this is from 1891. And just look at the colors, right? You think for 1891, that color palette is so intense. And the contours here are just, I don't know, they're very aggressive and sensual contours, I think. And so, I mean, who can blame them, right? You're in Tahiti. Like, it's absolutely lush and beautiful and tropical. And you feel, I don't know, you feel the passion in this painting.
That's right. So let's check out Mandy, who has the same passion of Tahiti and tropical locations. Mandy's ensemble is next level tropical, bursting with vibrant hues on her skirt. On her skirt, you'll see a gorgeous mix of textured greenery, as well as tropical blooms of orchids, roses, and ranunculus. Very nice, Mandy.
Mandy, that's fantastic. Can you give the crowd one more little... Very nice. Very good. Thank you for not dressing me in a hula skirt kind of deal, a grass skirt.
That was on the table.
I know, it was disguised. I said I'm not coming here early enough to get that on here, so it didn't work. Really great. Mandy looks great. You're going to love this next painting. So, this, I mean, this is a little scandalous, right?
A little sauce?
This is, the artist is Michel Garnier. And yes, Karen, like this is a saucy story here. This is like a couple of young rich kids in Paris.
That's right.
And this painting is called The Poorly Defended Rose, which you can, it appears that the rose is not really the center of attention.
No, I don't think they're floral arranging here.
No.
And
No.
tonight we have Anna and Sam portraying the poorly defended rose. Gives us a pretty clear idea of life in Paris, but it was opulent, over the top. Sam has a jacket that is completely adorned in rose petals, and his ruffled shirt is Dusty Miller.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Anna has a beautiful dress comprised of peach, pale roses, calla lilies.
Show the back of that a little.
Yeah, your bustle, yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, Anna, protect that rose, okay?
I mean, how can you resist all of those roses on Sam, though? I mean, that is something else. That is very, I'm not sure, like, is this, like, super, like, Renaissance era French sexy? Or is this, like, I'll see you at the Holiday Inn off of 694 It might be
The Renaissance.
more Renaissance? I don't know. More Renaissance.
Thank you, Sam. And Sam is our boiler operator at Bachman's.
Sam's the boiler operator. So the question for Anna, Sam's the boiler operator, so is it true that he always keeps it nice and hot?
Appropriately so.
I would say yeah.
See? I mean, sometimes you can't, you can try to defend the rose, but you can't defend it against that head of hair and the beautiful suit coat. You guys look fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so this is one of two pieces of art from Garnier, and the accompanying work of art is called The Letter. So this was painted 2 years later, and it revisits the young woman from the first painting.
That's right.
Now, this time, as you can see, where's the guy?
Yeah, well,
Guy's gone.
Sam certainly isn't a love and leave him type
No,
of guy.
no, very loyal.
What he did is write a letter and provide a small, tiny miniature portrait of himself that can be admired. Not only by the betrothed, but also the chambermaid. And tonight, we have the chambermaid, Lynn Bachman, who's my mom, as well as the beautiful woman in the painting, Gretchen.
Oh, here comes Lynn.
So I have a feeling that the chambermaid wants to check out that eye candy, Gretchen.
So there's the letter. And now, this is, what's great about this is we have some great advice for the man in the crowd. Like when you have left your woman, you send her a nice portrait of yourself. Because nothing says I love you, honey, like a picture of yourself. Like I think it's, right? And so now I know what to get my wife for Mother's Day. Just a wonderful photo of me. Could you take one? I could just send it to her. If you could just take a picture of me and then I could send it to her. Oh, good. I'll just send that to Alyssa.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Or you can send flowers.
All right, talk about the. I could send. Wow, that's a good idea. Geez, Karen, marketing director for Bachman's. Where can I find those?
6 metro locations. So tonight we have.
Lynn is so proud of her daughter. Like, just keep selling. Sell. Let's go.
So tonight we have Gretchen in a beautiful tulle skirt with rose petals, as well as Dusty Miller. And her sash not only has beautiful fragrant roses, but she has a headband adorned as well. And Miss Lynn, our chambermaid, has beautiful, rich Parisian hues of amaranthus, roses, and of course those beautiful dahlias that we see. And even her bustles. So she is quite the chambermaid.
Your dahlias have never looked better.
I have fun!
How great do these two look?
Wonderful.
That was so fun. If I could just take one of these. Just gonna give that to my wife.
So good. And the picture later.
And then the picture. And I guess I'm covered. So this evening has worked out very well for me. All right, so Garnier told us the story of a Parisian couple, right? Our next painting takes us one country to the east. And it's still a French artist, so this charming music still is appropriate. But you know who painted this one, right? Matisse, I heard it, yeah. Matisse was inspired by his time in Italy. And so this painting, very cleverly named, Boy with Butterfly Net. You gotta keep it literal sometimes. Wouldn't it be great if we had like an adorable young boy who could come out and play this?
In fact, we do have an adorable young man, who's my cousin.
Oh! Get it! Get it! Get that butterfly! Huh?
So not only does Adam have a strong stance of a Greek god,
He really does, yeah. That's why Adam comes on WCCO with us sometimes on 9 a.m. And everybody in the newsroom says, like, he's got the stance of a Greek god, for sure. Yeah, there it is.
and he's pollinator friendly tonight.
Yeah, those, no butterflies were harmed in the making of this couture.
That's right. So Adam has faux monarchs, thank you very much, adorning his hat as well as his socks, and a beautiful tie of roses and ranunculus.
Can I wear the hat? Is that attached to your head? Oh. That's good. Maybe should I? Okay. I don't know if I can do it with the glee that you were doing. Like you're Tell us about the tie, Karen.
So the tie is made out of roses and ranunculus, absolutely beautiful red. You can see those depicted below on his socks and on his shoes.
I mean, I like wearing fun socks on the news. I think that would be a good. I mean, this is pretty boring compared to that. That's really good.
Absolutely. So, Adam, thank you so much for being our boy.
I heard a rumor that Adam is soon to have a boy.
That's right. It's a little boy in
Little
July.
boy on the way
Yes,
for
and his
Adam's
wife is
wife.
right here.
2 girls, and now there's a boy coming, so
We're all very excited.
then
Yes.
he can have the butterfly hat for sure. Our next work of art stands out from tonight's collection because it's not a painting. Yeah, it's a charcoal drawing. And this is Edgar Degas. So this is from the late 1800s. It's called Ballet Dancer in Repose. And Degas was really known for, I'm sure you've seen Degas' work of ballet, of ballerinas. And what's cool is, especially for this time, Degas is sharing stories of ballerinas while they're performing, but they're not posed, right? Which I mean, I'm sure they're posed, right? But this is a more casual, like, waiting to perform or rehearse behind the scenes, which I think was very unique for the time.
So, although the dancer that we have tonight is not slumped over, we have Emily tonight, and she's unaware that she's being sketched, but Emily's tulle skirt turns her into a floral ballerina, and she has lavender daisies, coral ranunculus,
Oh, very
freesia.
nice.
Oh, good job,
Is that, do
Emily.
you do first position? Can you do first position? No. That is a position. I don't think that's first. Isn't first position? It's just like this, I think. It's just like.
So maybe you should do second, third, you know what I mean?
Second? I don't know what. That's like, what's second? More like that? No. No, I don't know. Third is this one. All right, this has been tonight's ballet lesson. TV's Jason Rush.
And not only is Emily's tulle skirt and her bodice adorned, but her ballet slippers are as well, with beautiful and fragrant Frisian roses and some garden roses in her hair. So
Beautiful.
thank you, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
I much prefer the Bachman's ballerina over Big Al.
I mean, who's going to choose charcoal over flowers? I don't think so. All right, we are reaching the end of our show, and there was no choice. We had to end with this year's Art in Bloom signature piece and our Fleur Couture show. There it is. You've seen it. Still life with dahlias, zinnias, hollyhocks, and plums. It is the highlight of the event, and we thought, what a perfect way to wrap things up tonight. But this, let me tell you, you guys are about to experience something special, because no other show, like I know there's another fashion show tomorrow night, fine. But is there a fashion show that's going to introduce you to a true artiste? Monsieur, I've been up since 2:30 this morning. You have to give me a break. Monsieur Eugene Delacroix.
Oui. And our model.
Bring him out.
Our model, French artist, wearing a blooming beret of mums, orchids, orange spray roses. He also has a smock that is painted with flowers in a beautiful palette of every hue of the rainbow.
Delacroix is a very messy painter. He got it all over. It's all over. Can you do, Monsieur?
Comment je dois monsieur?
Ooh. Croissant. Chateauneuf de Pape.
Oysters.
Okay. Very good. We named 2 wines, a bread, and oysters. I think that's good. That's good.
And thank you to Monsieur Delacroix for bringing this painting to life.
Oh. Such a... The artists always get the women. Very smooth.
I'm a little worried about what's going to happen backstage.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Who can resist a true artiste? What a great show! Didn't the models do a fantastic job? Let's bring them all back out one more time. Let's bring out all of our models. Wonderful team members at Bachman. Great creative designers.
That's right.
Are they all drinking backstage right now?
We have
Here they come! All of the artists will be out there, so you can, our models, so you can get up close and see the flowers and take pictures and all of that. So thank you so much for coming. Have a great time at Art in Bloom here at the museum, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Кто еще не пришел сюда, очень рекомендую. 4 дня будет шоу. Ну, уже 3.